All right, time is 7 o'clock. Very good evening to everyone. And once again, I welcome all of you for the day two session of our workshop. Ma'am is already with us, ma'am joined. And I request Ruchika ma'am to kindly please take over the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, I think initial 10 minutes I will be taking just to discuss what we have done yesterday so that we will be able to understand things in a continuation, right? So, I'm just sharing my screen first with you all. So, in a nutshell, let me just tell you what we have done yesterday. We have discussed what is variable. We have also seen what is the personification of a variable. When we see variable is just like a family member, and a variable cannot be understood alone. There are some other variables which needs to be together, because then only the relationship can be justified, and that relationship is called hypothesis. So we have seen the definition of variable yesterday, personification of variable. We have also seen that what is the basic understanding of measurement scale. That means each question what we ask in the questionnaire, after understanding the inference of that particular question, we can only decide that which tool should go with it. So, like yesterday, I have said that there are three things which are very important from the point of view of measurement scale. One is question, second is answer, and third one is inference. The way you ask the question doesn't matter. The thing which matter is what is the outcome which you are trying to imply. So we have seen various questions yesterday. We have seen the nominal scale, in which the responses cannot be complied with the help of any other tool except count and percentage. So out of these responses, the responses are just like an identifier where we can give the answer of, okay, total number of students, total number of count, and what is the percentage of each item out of the total number, that we have seen yesterday with many examples. So these were the two general examples which we have discussed. Are you married? What is your gender? Then we have seen ordinal scale. Ordinal scale is already having a feature of nominal, but when you are able to provide some MCQs, and all those responses can be kept in a ascending or descending order, or if you can put them in a rank, for an example, where the comparison can be made on certain characteristics, and you can say that B is better than A and C is better than B. And on the behalf of the ranking, you can also put them in ascending or descending order. That way, it is called an ordinal scale. So we have seen two examples yesterday. If I'm asking to somebody, what is your qualification? So if the person gives the answer, maybe 10th, 12th, and graduation. Graduation is more than class 12th, and class 12th is more than class 10th. Likewise, income, if we are asking the income options in certain categories, whether your income lies between 10 to 20,000, 20 to 30,000, then obviously 20 to 30,000 is more than 10 to 12, 20,000. So automatically, whenever any question is having the features of ordinal, that automatically has the feature of nominal too. Then we have seen interval scale. Interval scale and ratio scale are the two scales in which the responses will be taken in numbers. But there is a difference between interval scale and ratio scale. Interval scale does not has the absolute zero. It is having the arbitrary zero. Arbitrary zero means like anything which is measured in Fahrenheit, for an example, in centigrade, or anything measured on a scale of 0 to 10, then also it is called an interval scale. But anything which is having a absolute 0, like when we are asking to somebody, any company, to show their sales, to show their revenue, somebody is to ask like their marks, for an example, their height, their weight. So we can have the answer of how many times. We can also put the formulas plus, minus, multiplication, division, because there is some value of a 0. 0 means nothing. Whereas in interval scale, 0 is having something. That means there is an arbitrary 0. Whereas in ratio scale, there is an absolute 0. 0 means nothing. So if we are having the answers on a ratio scale, complete numerals, which can be multiply, divide, plus, minus, and we can also give the answer of how many times, that particular question can be measured on a ratio scale. So we have basically tried to see the difference among nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale yesterday. We have discussed many examples. Nominal and ordinal scales are called non-metric items, whereas ratio or interval is called the metric one. Then I have shown you one questionnaire in which we have also seen many questions, and you yourself have given me the answer that which question belong to what scale. So that part we have seen. Then to understand, even after understanding the question, how many variables are there in that particular question, that's also plays an important part. If you are discussing the variables individually, and there is no relationship between the individuals, we are not analyzing, there is no impact of one variable onto the another, that means this is a kind of univariate analysis. Whereas if I say that to check the relationship between crime, poverty, and population, I just want to see the relationship between these three. These three cannot be studied separately. That means there are three variables. All those variables relationship is to be checked. So when we are having more than two variables, that will be called as a multivariate analysis. And when we are having two variables, bivariate. So I have discussed with you many examples yesterday of univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. Then we have also seen that if we are having only one variable in the study, and if the variable is metric, for an example, then maximum what kind of statistical analysis can be done? So mean, median, and t-test. You are having things in numbers. You are having the sales of a company. You are having the revenue of a company. So what maximum analysis could be done with only one variable? So we can only take the mean, median, and hardly we can go with the t-test of that particular variable values. As well as when we are having the non-metric, like perception of people, their satisfaction, job satisfaction, satisfaction from a product. So that will be measured on a nominal and ordinal scale, and we can count and take the percentage of it. We have also seen bivariate analysis, like if there are two variables, and because now you understand the independent variable could be metric, that means ratio or interval scale, and the dependent variable can also be metric, then the formula which you will imply will call correlation. And when you are having independent factor is metric and dependent factor is non-metric, you will go with binary logistics. Linear regression will not work here, because for the linear regression, we have to have the data in continuous series. Continuous data has to be there. If the data is not continuous, then the binary regression and binary logistics will go. So likewise, we have seen that what will go with if the independent factor is non-metric and dependent factor is metric, in especially bivariate analysis. And lastly, yesterday we have discussed about multivariate analysis, where we are having more than two variables, but keep in mind, it's very easy to perform the analysis when the dependent variable is 1. When the dependent variable is more than 1, it is basically the complex one, and generally people use Mancova, and they use the softwares like Amos. And in SPSS, sometimes running SEM and CFA is not possible. So structural equation modeling actually helps to see the interrelationship between independent and dependent variable. If in future I will get the opportunity, I will discuss about these two tools, SEM and CFA. So when you are having many variables and you want to check the relationship between those variables, especially in case of when we are having two dependent variable, then it's better to go with SEM and CFA. So confirmatory factor analysis is not so required, but SEM, structural equation modeling, is required, because without running structural equation modeling, we will not be able to understand the relationship between the variables, especially in case when the dependent variable is more than 1. So we have seen this up to this extent. Things are being seen in the multivariate analysis now. Today, we are going to discuss about, like, this is one slide which I have added on. If you see this slide, in nominal, we are just having the identifiers. The person is having the number 7, 11, and 3. In ordinal, there are some rank, third winner, second winner, and first winner. In interval, basically 0 to 10 scale performance are given. And on ratio, what is happening on ratio? We are having some absolute numbers, 15.2, 14.1, and 13.4. So this is just one slide added on, just as a comparison. If you want to see all 4 in one go, you can refer this. This difference table is also being added on just to make you understand, as I have already explained you. So I will be sharing the slides, and it will be very easy for you to understand and see the difference among these 4. Now, how do we decide that, and in what way we decide that the categorization of variable? There are few terms which I have used here. Like, one term which is used here is dichotomous. Dichotomous means you are having two options to one question. So if there are more than 2 categories, for an example, you are asking to somebody, what is your gender, and the person is saying male or female, then there are 2 categories, the answer will be dichotomous. But if there are more than 2 categories, then yes, we can categorize those things in a rank 2. Are we able to put those categories into a rank? If we are not able to put them in a rank, it is nominal. But if we are able to put them in a rank, it becomes ordinal, if you can see. And if we are able to put those ordinal values in the numbers, then the particular variable is called interval and ratio. So, interval, whenever we say ratio is also having the feature of interval, ordinal and nominal. Likewise, interval is also having a feature of ordinal and nominal, and ordinal is also having a feature of nominal, which we have seen yesterday. Now, this is more important, because what happens whenever we are about to decide that in what way the question should be asked. Generally, there is only one way which comes in a mind, Likert scale. But it is not the only way to measure the responses. We have to understand there are some comparative scales and non-comparative scales too. And there are few studies which are published. I will share some papers with you all, research papers, in which the scale is not Likert. They have taken the Q-sort or continuous rating scales, itemized rating scales, and the papers are published in Q1 Scopus journals. It should be like very much clear in your mind. What is your objective? What are the questions you are implied to ask to the respondent? And those questions should be measured on what scale? How should I ask the question to somebody? Like, whether I ask the question on the basis of 1 to 10 scaling, or I can take some staple scales, semantic differential scales. So just to make sure that you are asking the question in the right way, and it should also be going with the objectives, there are some scaling techniques which are very important. So once we will be understanding all those scaling techniques, we will be practicing one experience of we will be having some kind of hands-on experience. We will discuss some examples where you by yourself will tell me that which scaling technique is being used and why. So we will be starting this. We can see that on this slide that the scaling could be of two types, comparative and non-comparative scales. Now, broadly, we can say that when we are about to compare two items together, like when I want to say that which product is better or which website is better, for an example, Amazon, Flipkart, or any other website, Myntra. So that means I am about to make a comparison between these three. So in that case also people try to use Likert scale. So don't use the Likert scale whenever there is about to make some comparison in two different brands, or if there is about to make some comparison in two different companies, two different techniques, right? Two different choices, two different characteristics. So in that case, the scale which should be used is comparative one. But when people are not aware about it, and even they have the questions like this, that are you what your satisfaction for product A and product B, and they give the Likert scale, very much satisfied, satisfied. So it's not correct. Whenever you are about to ask the comparison between two goods, between two characteristics, between two brands, between two features, it's better to ask the questions with the help of comparative scale as compared to non-comparative. So we are going to start with the comparative scale first. Comparative scale, as I have already told you, the respondent is asked to compare one object with the another. Most of the time we have seen, even uh, in your doctorate, we are about to narrow down our study, and if the topic is very broad, it's not possible to analyze. Especially empirical data analysis is very tough, is if a topic is very broad. So generally the guide asks the students to narrow down the topic, and in terms of comparison between two websites, or for an example, if I want to conduct a study in the e-commerce, that which e-commerce website is able to provide the better omni-channel strategies. So when I am about to compare the better omni-channel strategies of the e-commerce websites, omni-channel, I think you all understand, omni-channel is a method where multiple touch points are used to purchase a product. So if I am about to analyze the omni-channel strategy over e-commerce, I should not use the Likert scale. I should, because in e-commerce there are many websites, and I can only reach to a conclusion by comparing these 2, 3, 4 websites, whatever criteria you have taken to choose those websites. So comparative scale, I think that should be clear in your mind. Comparative scale is to be used when we are about to compare one characteristics with another, one quality with another, one brand with another, one product with another. So if I want to compare Samsung with Apple, I will be using comparative scale rather than other kinds of scaling techniques. The comparative scales can be easily divided into 4 kinds of scaling techniques. For an example, paired comparison, rank order, constant sum, and Q sort. We will see one by one that when to use and how to have the inference. How can we reach to an inference of these particular websites, of these particular scales? The first one that I have taken here is paired comparison scale. Don't see the table first. I will make you understand how this kind of analysis is made. This particular technique is used when the person is about to make a comparison between two objects at a time. So generally, people use these kind of techniques for the cross-sectional study, descriptive study, when they are about to take the choices of the people at one particular period of time, right? So even in descriptive study or in cross-sectional study, we can use this kind of paired comparison scale. Now, if you see this example, if you see the slide, there are four types of cold drinks which are mentioned: Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, and Limca. And for an example, you go with your brother or your sister to a shop, and there are four kinds of cold drinks which are there. Now you ask your brother that you can choose, you can prefer one over the another. And I am just giving you two choices. Maybe there are four, but in a pair, the choices are provided to your brother. So you give the first pair choice to your brother that you have to choose between Coke and Pepsi, or you can choose between Coke and Sprite, Coke and Limca, likewise with the other brands like Pepsi and Sprite, Pepsi and Limca, and Pepsi and Coke. So there are multiple pairs, which are provided to your brother. Now, if you see this table, in this table, at the bottom of this table, I have mentioned some numbers. Like below the Coke, if you see the first column, Coke, there are some numbers which are mentioned too. And you can see that two eyes icon are also there in front of Sprite and in front of Limca. Likewise, if you see in like below Pepsi, there are three eye icons which are there, and the total is three. And likewise in Sprite and Limca. Now, what is the interpretation of this? So look at the first row. The first row is having the brand Coke, and there are four choices which are provided: Coke, Pepsi, and Sprite and Limca. Now, when you have asked your brother that which, or your sister, that which combo you would like to take, the first combo you offered is Coke Pepsi, and your sister or your brother has given the preference to Pepsi. So I put a mark over here. So Coke or Pepsi के बीच में से कौन सा अच्छा है? So the choice came Pepsi. So I gave 1 point to Pepsi and marked one circle behind it, below it. When the choice between Coke and Sprite is asked, there was no choice, and the Coke and Limca is asked again. Then we will going to the second one. Again, it is a blank one. But when we are going to provide the choices between Sprite and Coke, the person liked Coke. Accordingly, we have given 1 point here. And when the choices between Sprite and Pepsi asked, the person has again, have gone with the Pepsi. So again, 1 point is given. So likewise, each comparisons or each pair is presented in front of the person that which pair do you like, and in that particular pair, which cold drink is likely preferred by you over the another. So we can see that Coke is likely liked by the person twice over Sprite and Limca. Pepsi is liked by 3 over Coke, Sprite, and Limca. Sprite is liked by 1 over Limca, and Limca may not be liked by any other person. So this particular table can be used when you are offering the things in a pair. Again, there are multiple brands, as I have already mentioned to you. The paired comparison scales generally goes with the brands or the products wherever you are supposed to make the comparison. So, it's not necessary all the time that whenever the comparison is to be made, it's not necessary that you will be taking the Likert scale all the time. It's very, subjective to the question or to the objective of your complete research, that sometimes by taking these kind of small scales, you can even justify with your research. So it's a very easy one, paired comparison scale. So even, in a very small part of your research, if some part of the research is having the comparison of two characteristics, that which characteristics or quality you liked, maybe battery is liked more as compared to the outer look of the mobile phone. So this could be done with the help of a paired comparison scale. Now, I have taken one more example here. And if you see this example, this example has been taken from a research paper in which the different fruits paired comparison is being done. So if you are able to understand the last one, I think this also becomes very clear to you. If you see the first row, the cherry and apple stars are basically showing your likeliness about the product. So if there are 3 stars, that means the product is likely very much or very, very much preferred. If it is having 1 star, so it is not liked very much, and 2 star is lying between 1 and 3. So if you see the first one, that as compared to apple, the cherry is like most. That is why there are 3 stars. As compared to orange, cherry is just like 1 star with 1 star. As compared to melon, again cherry is liked by 2 star. So what we are doing when we are making the comparisons between apple, orange, or orange melon, based on the preferences of the product, if you are liking the product very much, you can put 3 stars. If the product is not liked very much, it could lie between 1 and 2. And then we are getting a total of it. So I think you could see that cherry has got the maximum stars. Cherry has got the 9 star. If I'm going to add on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it means cherry is very much preferred over all other fruits. So that was a very simple analysis, but it enhances the beauty of your data, what data you have collected. Otherwise, if I am about to make some comparison between 2 fruits, I will think that what analysis I can show. People are liking apple more as compared to orange. So I can only write this with the help of one single statement, but that's not like this. So whenever you are having the products and 2 products, 2 qualities, 2 characteristics, it's better to go with this kind of paired comparison scale. Now, the second one is, when to use it. Generally, when you want the direct comparison between the objects which are provided to you, and you are asking the people, directly, that on the basis of quality, rank these goods. So in research, how can we use it? Generally, on the basis of, like, for an example, if you are about to collect the data in an area where there are 10 to 15 districts, and you have to choose that which district should be taken in your study. So for that also, you can conduct a pilot study where the sample could be taken of 200, 300 people, and you can start talking about on the behalf of different features of district, that which district you will put at the first and which you will put at the last. And based on that, if people are liking to number, any district, for an example, district A more, they have given 1 rank, which is the highest rank, to district A, then even you can justify in your research that you have taken only 5 districts out of 15, because you have conducted a pilot study on the basis of rank, and these 5 districts have been ranked at the first 5 place. So it's like up to you how you want to use it, because in research, whenever we write anything, a single statement, and if we are about to analyze that, we can analyze this by the help of very simple methodologies. And one of the simplest methodology is called ranking order. So like I have given you one example when to use it, but when you see this example, again, we are about to make some comparison, even when, for an example, you have been choosing the topic for your study, and when you have conducted a pre-literature review, there are 2 terms. I think you understand. There is one term which is called pre-literature review, and the another one is called literature review. So pre-literature review is generally done before the study starts, when we are about to find out the topic, the theme, then we conduct a pre-literature. So even when you are into the process of pre-literature, there are 4 to 5 themes which comes in front of you. So how do you choose that which stream should be most feasible one, that which stream in which you can pursue your study? We all prefer the ranking order. So even at the time of choosing the different themes and conducting the systematic literature review, there are some point of time when we are supposed to give the justification that on what basis this paper is being chosen And there is one very easiest way. Whenever we try to find out any paper from the literature review, we see the citation, the most preferred citations given by the people. So any paper which has been given the most citation, we put that paper at a highest rank. That okay, I will be taking this paper first, and then after that, the paper which is having the less citations, I can rank that paper second. So likewise, when you are about to make some comparison between or among these four goods, these four brands, the same example is being taken. The least preferred brand should be, it's up to you. Whatever rank you want to give. You can mention in your questionnaire that the least preferred rank will be marked 1 and the most preferred rank will be marked 4. Or it could be in an opposite way also. Sometimes people start giving the least preference in the ranking of 4 and the most likely preferred rank in the ranking of 1. So you have to mention all these things in your questionnaire when you are about to give the questionnaire to the respondent, and see in a pilot survey whether people are liking it or not. Even if you think that people are not very much into giving the responses to you into the ranking order, you at that particular point of time decide that that strategy should not go, and you can go and opt for some other methods too. So all these methods, the number of methods which we are studying right now, it is not necessary that you are supposed to go with all those every time. You can go test those in a pilot survey, and then you can decide whether you should go with that or not. Now, one more very powerful scaling method, which is called a constant sum scale. It's very, very powerful one, but there are some limitations of this. Whenever we are having, for an example, we are having a sum total of something, and I want to categorize that sum total. Like for a very normal example, that I want to know that which quality of a particular good is most likely by the people. For an example, whenever you are about to find out the uh, product satisfaction of a particular product, or the customer satisfaction of a particular product, what do you do generally? So what we do, we put some categories, some characteristics, and then we ask that, okay, give the numbers. What is the maximum number you want to give? So there is a very simple example, that there are some attributes, for an example, price, fragrance, packaging, cleaning powder, and lather means form of a detergent. So when I want to know that why people are purchasing my detergent powder, the detergent powder which is manufactured in my company, and I want to make that particular comparison of that particular product with the another brand. So what I will be doing, I will be putting all those attributes in a row. As you can see that I have put all those attributes of brand A, and the same attributes can also be put for brand B. And then I can ask the consumers that you have to give the numbers, but that number should be like out of 100. If you have given 50 to price, then only remaining 50 can only be divided among fragrance, packaging, cleaning powder, and leather. So this is also very powerful tool. Again, many of the studies, most of the time, even in few of the Bloomsburg study, you wherever you are having time, go some kind of publications which are given by Bloomsburg. And it's not that this is one of the biggest organization which go and collect the data, but it is not that they will be using all the time very powerful tool to analyze it. They are using very small comparative scales where the choices of the people can be taken and data will be released. And on a national and international level, their studies are being very much helpful. Even in today's scenario, when somebody is about to take some kind of analysis, all kind of secondary data which is available over the Bloomsburg website, these data are taken out with a very normal, scaling techniques. Because if you will make the question very tough, and if the respondent is not able to understand, they give the answers, and their answers may create some kind of non-sampling error too. The respondents are not ready to give you the answers, and the error which comes at the end of the day is called the non-sampling error. So to get the avoidance of non-sampling error, these kind of methods could be used, and one of the method which is very powerful is called a constant sum scale. So again, what is to be done? All the characteristics can be put in one table, and out of 100, it's up to you what is the attribute marks you want to give. So if you want to make a total out of 100, okay, that should be very extensively mentioned in the questionnaire, that how you are going to tell the respondent that not the total should not go beyond 200. So in that case, the respondent will use their own mind and decide, okay, if the total is 200, the maximum we would like to give marks to the price, because price is very good at this particular price. Recently, let me just put you a very normal example in front of you. Recently, Ariel has decreased their prices by 60%. Earlier, 3 kg packet of Ariel was pricing 1000. But after conducting a survey in the market, people wanted to use Ariel, but they were not very much happy with the pricing of the product. So company has decided to reduce the product from 1000 rupees to approximately 480. There was somehow 40 to 50%, decrease in the prices of the goods, because people were not happy with the price, but they were very much happy with the packaging, fragrance, cleaning power, leather, everything was good. So these kind of surveys gives the power to the companies and even to the researchers also, whenever they are about to make some comparison between two brands characteristics. So till now, I think I was able to justify with these three: paired comparison, ranking order, and constant sum scale. Now, there is one more scale which is used by the people, which is called the Q-sort scale. Q-sort scale, first of all, let me just just give one example in front of you, and then we will go to the definition. If you are able to see this, there are some kind of, the words are being used with the numbers. So if you see, prefer most, it bags the marks of 10. If you see like, it bags the marks of 20, neutral 30, dislike 20, and prefer least 10. Now this kind of method is, we can make the comparison of this method with the Likert scale. But what is the difference between Q sorting scale and Likert? There is a very big difference. Q sort scale is used when we are about to make the comparison or ranking order of two goods. If you see this, you are supposed to give the numbers to those goods which are preferred most. So you are supposed to make a ranking of these. So whatever product will be preferred most, you will be putting that product at a highest point as compared to the lowest one. Likewise in like, neutral, dislike, and preferred least. But whenever these kind of questions are asked on a Likert scale comes under the non-comparative one. We are just talking about one parameter at a time. We will not be mingling, 2 or 3 parameters together. So we generally prefer this kind of method, which looks like to the Likert method when we are about to make a comparison between two goods. So ideally we say that the objects to be sorted shall not be less than 60 and not more than 140. So, all those preferred most, the fill the blanks which are in front of you, in that the maximum rows could be 140 and minimum could be 60. Now, as we have been gone through with all the comparative scales, let me just talk to everyone, those who are there. So, Prateek ji, Payal ji, and two others who are there, I think you all are research scholars. So, is it that clear to you? What are those comparative scales? Any doubt till now in terms of the comparative scales? You want to ask anything, you can. The purpose should not be only, listening to me.
Ma'am, I missed the constant sum. So could you just repeat or brief in a short?
Ma'am, look, in constant sum, what is to be done? Like I have given one example to you in constant sum. That example goes very well. For an example, when you must have seen the reviews over the websites regarding the various qualities of a product. So whenever you buy one product, what do? You go and see the review, and you can see that people are providing their reviews in terms of sometimes quality. If you are about to purchase for an example, a cloth over the Amazon or over the from the Mintra, you go to the reviews and see what are the reviews given by the people. And for an example, if first customer has said that the cloth quality is very good, but the second customer said that the fit is very bad, the third customer said it's very expensive. So by the time three characteristics are coming into your mind: quality, first quality, second fit, and third is price. So what we do, after the identification of all three variables, I will be putting all three variables in my questionnaire, and I will be asking the respondents to give marks to these three. And the sum total should be 100 only. So if somebody who is very much satisfied with the quality of the cloth, that person may give 60 marks to quality. And if the person says that no, it's very expensive, then the person can give the very less marks to this, maybe 10. And to fit, if the person feels that fit is okay, the person may give the marks to 30 to the fit. But the sum total should be 100. But you are able to understand as a researcher that the respondent has given maximum marks to quality. So quality is not to be worried. The company may should start working on the pricing now. Likewise, I have given the example to you of Ariel. So what was happening? I think you all must have been seen that recently Ariel has reduced their prices by 50%. And what was the reason behind it? They have conducting a lot of surveys in South areas, in South India, where they found that people are very much satisfied with the quality of the product, but they are just, showing their resistance. And the company was able to understand and applied the law of demand. When the price will low, the demand will increase. And now what is happening? A middle class one, even the lower middle class one, middle class is pretty higher. The lower middle class one, those whose income is hardly 30 to 40,000 rupees per month, they are able to use Ariel. So मैं आपको एक बार slide दिखा देती हूँ. Let me just show you the slide of the constant one also. Yes, this is the constant one. So likewise, I have told you the quality for an example, the fit for an example, and price. But यहाँ पे slide में we have taken some other features: price, fragrance, packaging, cleaning power, and leather. And we are talking about a detergent powder. So if the company wants to give maximum points to the price, the company is giving maximum points to the price. Price is okay. What needs to be done with this detergent powder? There are two concerns. One is fragrance, and second is leather. Leather means foaming. So the foaming is not good, and the fragrance is not good. So likewise, this particular method can be used to take the responses from the respondents. Is it clear, Payal ji?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So any other issue in understanding the comparative scale, anyone? Because then we will start non-comparative scale. So any one of you think that, ma'am, there is any confusion? And just understand one thing. Rather than using the toughest tool to analyze the data, it's better to use the scale which is suiting absolutely the kind of study in which you are. Sometimes, the big tools are not going to justify the answers of the objective which you have taken. And it's with the help of these very easy comparative scales, we can justify what we are about to do in our study. So always try to have the very small justification in your mind, that always ask to yourself that this is the objective of my study. This is the question which I am asking. Now, how can I ask the question? Should I ask this question with the help of MCQs? Should I ask this question with the help of constant sum or any kind of rating scale? So that question should be asked always to yours once at least when you are framing the question. Now, I'm just about to start with the non-comparative scale. The comparative scales are done. So, as I have already spoken a lot about the comparative one, comparative one can only be used, when we are having two objects or when we are having more than two objects. If we are having single object, it's better to go with non-comparative scale. And generally what happens, for an example, when you take a questionnaire, अब मुझे लग रहा है confusion, एक question आपको पूछना चाहिए था आप लोगों को मुझसे, but your people are not asking. For an example, I say in front of you that there are 4 variables in which 3 variables are independent and 1 variable is dependent. So, for an example, the 3 independent variables are cash, credit, and interest rate. So, like the people taking cash from the bank, people are taking things on credit, loan, and the loan interest rate. And the dependent variable is their economic well-being. So there is a model in which we are having 4 variables, 3 variables are independent and 1 variable is dependent. So when I am about to ask the questions about cash, about to ask the questions about credit, questions regarding interest rate, and questions regarding economic well-being, there are more than 3 variables into this. There are 4 variables. Can you give me the answer that which scale should be used, comparative or non-comparative? Any one of you. Which scale should be used? We are having 4 variables. Any idea? You can give the answer, I think. We are more on a discussion mode. It should not be a one-way side. And if you all are scholars, the question should come in your mind. Okay, so when we are having 4 variables, understand this thing. When we are having 4 variables, you will be asking questions of each variable once at a time. So what you will be doing? When you will be talking about cash, you will be asking questions about cash only. When you will be talking about credit, you will be asking the questions about credit only. There is no comparison between, we are not talking about 2 goods. We are not talking about the comparison between cash and credit. We are talking about there are 3 variables and how these 3 variables are having their impact on economic well-being. So when you will frame the questions of economic well-being, the variable is 1, economic well-being. When you are asking the questions of cash, there is only 1 variable, cash. When you are asking the questions of credit, there is only 1 question, credit. And when you are asking the question of interest rate, there is only 1 variable, which is interest rate. So when we are only having 1 variable and we are asking the question, that means it's not a comparative one. We can use non-comparative scale. So that was the clarification from my side regarding the comparative scale. Let's come back to the slide. I'm sorry, non-comparative scale. Come back to the slide. Non-comparative scales are when we are having only 1 variable or 1 object. So there are many techniques, and broadly we can divide these non-comparative scale into 2 types: continuous rating scale and itemized. Even Likert scale comes into that. We will see how does this, fulfill the purpose behind it. Now the first one is continuous rating scale. Continuous rating scale, again, we are talking about 1 variable at a time. But when you see this question, it may be coming into your mind that, ma'am, this is again a Likert scale. So it is not a Likert scale, because in Likert scale, we are having either like 5-point Likert scale, 3-point Likert scale. We hardly provides the ranking from 0 to 10. It is a continuous rating scale, and the person has to find out the appropriate position. So we are talking about 1 variable at a time. You can see the question. The question is, how would you rate the TV advertisement as a guide for buying? So do you influence from the TV advertisement? Generally, what we do, even to ask this question, we form this question at a Likert scale. No need to frame this question on a Likert scale. We are asking people about how powerful the TV advertisement is, or how powerful or how TV advertisement influence you to purchase a product. And that could be asked on a very normal scale of a continuous rating scale where the ratings are given from 10 to 0. So it's one of the very easy scale. So certain questions are given to you, like for an example, how would you rate the advertisement as a guide for buying? There are, different ways in which the scale can be made. If you see the scale A, strongly agree to strongly disagree. Scale B, we have just made the opposite of it. Strongly disagree to strongly agree. We can change the directions also. It is not necessary that at one point of time at the left hand side we have to write the disagree. So we can change the direction. In scale C, we have put some numbers so that it will become easier for the respondent to go through the scale. And in scale D, as we have changed the position, we have changed the numbers too. So there are some different types which can be used in your own way, the way you feel comfortable. But my question is, like, whenever we are about to ask these kind of questions, how do you rate the TV advertisement? We are generally so much confused. हम पूछे कैसे इस question को? How can we ask? And we can ask this question because we are having only one variable. We are only asking about the advertisement. It is also variable. So sometimes the advertisement influence the respondents very much. Sometimes they don't. So their impact keeps on changing. So you are measuring the advertisement, only one variable, and you can use this method. The second one is itemized rating scale. Itemized rating scale is having three powerful tools. The one is Likert scale, the second one is semantic, and the third one is staple scale. Yesterday, I have used two words, Likert type scale and Likert scale. In almost 99.99 social studies, we use Likert scale. We never use Likert type scale. So I will give you the example, the difference between Likert and Likert type scale. First of all, we will understand what is itemized. Itemized means there are some scale positions and there are some categories which we have created, and the question is mine and the answer is also mine. These are all the kind of close-ended methods. Even in almost different kind of scaling, we have used the close-ended. So the question is yours and the answer is also yours. So I am not giving the power to the respondent to think in a different way. Now, the Likert scale could be 3-point Likert scale, 5-point Likert scale, 7-point Likert scale, and 9-point Likert scale too. There is one factor which plays a very important part before we decide Likert scale. पहले हम Likert scale को आपको दिखाते हैं. This is a Likert scale. ठीक है? Now, how the Likert scale can be 3 to 5, 5 to 7, and 7 to 9. I will give you a very small example. Understand this example, and I think that will help you to decide that in your study, the scale should be 3-pointer Likert scale, 5, 7, or 9-pointer. If I ask you one question that whenever you go to the market, the price of raw material, you feel it like okay all the time, or you think that it should be reduced? And I'm giving you only 3 options: strongly agree, neutral, and strongly disagree. If you want to say something to me, that means I am not interested to listen the responses which are the nominal positive one. Sometimes what may happen, you may not be liking the product strongly, but you may not like the product. बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं लगता, बहुत ज्यादा but अच्छा नहीं लगता. जैसे कि आप किसी person से मिले, for an example, when you are meeting to somebody, so there is one thing which we say कि I hate that person, and there is another thing which is I don't like that person. There is a difference between these two statements. I hate that person and I don't like that person. When I say I don't like the person, that means still there is some kind of soft parameter in your heart. But when you say I hate that person, that means there is a very less percentage of chance that we cannot convert the choice of a person from not liking to liking. And that's the point which helps us to decide whether I should keep my Likert scale on a 5, 7, 9, or 3 point. If I want to give more choices to my respondent, and if I think that my respondents are more sensitive, then I should use the questionnaire with multiple options, 5, 7, 9. And if I think that my respondents are not very sensitive, they are very direct forward, they are not liking to give the answers on a very detailed explanation of the answer, then you can go with a very small scaling, maybe on a 3-point Likert scale or hardly 5-point Likert scale. So Likert scale is to check the attitude of the people generally, whether the people are liking the product or not. 80 to 90% people use 3, 7, and 5. But in 1 or 2 studies recently, line pointer Likert scale is also being experimented. And let's see if 9-point Likert scale will be used in social science studies in future or not. But 3, 5, and 7 are the generally people are using these kind of Likert scale based upon the sensitivity of your population. Understand this thing. If your population is more sensitive, then use 7-point Likert scale. And if you think that your population is not very sensitive, like one more example, when you are about to seek the responses from urban area and rural areas. In rural area, people are very attached to their lands. In urban area, maybe people are purchasing the land just to resell it. So maybe when the prices of the land will increase, they will ready to sell the products. But in rural area, there could be some reasons because of which they are selling their land, but they are very attached. And their emotions cannot be judged with 3-point Likert scale. Understand my point. Their emotions can only be judged with the help of 5-point Likert scale or 7-point. Otherwise, they won't be able to explain their expressions. It's not possible for them. So in that way, just understand how sensitive your population is and how deeply you are interested to take the responses from them. Then only decide that what should be the type of the Likert scale, whether it should be 3, 5, or 7. And one more thing which is also important, you can't ignore the fact that what are the Likert scale that has been used in literature also. You refer literature to all the time. So if there is any study which is done on the rural area, so see in past how many studies are being done in the rural area and what kind of scales they have used. They have used 3-point Likert scale, 5-point Likert scale, 7 or 9. So Likert scale is to be used very diligently, because it changes the responses, it changes the complete inference of the questionnaire. If you are just taking 3-point, your study will be limited to only 3. Taking 7, there could be so many things which will come out. So I have given the 5-point Likert scale example in front of you that must be knowing to everyone. This is the example of studying opinion on food products. So some questions are being made and these options are given. And in Likert scale, don't try to change the language. So if the Likert scale asks that you should ask the question on strongly agree, strongly disagree, go with that only. Like I have seen in few studies, researchers changes the language just to avoid the plan. Your study is of 100 pages, 120 pages. Okay, even if flag comes by using these words, although in a research study we hardly mention the questionnaire, sometimes we don't. It is just a form of appendix. But don't try to change the language of Likert scale. Let it used in the same way. It has its own beautiful things inside it. So I have just explained something. This is one very simple explanation of a Likert scale. For an example, if I ask 30 statements to you, and all those 30 statements are measured on disagree, strongly disagree to strongly agree. So all those 30 questions will be having, I am measuring these questions on a Likert of 3. So for an example, the lowest one is having the number of 1, the neutral one is having 3, and the most favorable is having 5. So you can understand this in that way, that disagree is having the point of 1, strongly disagree is having the point of 1, neutral is having the point of 3, and strongly agree is having the point of 5. So 30 responses. So when you are multiplying 30 into 5, that means 150 most favorable responses should be possible, are possible. If anybody who is giving me the 5 number in all those 30, then what can be the maximum response? Maximum number 150. If everybody is giving me the 3 number, then what will be the maximum? 90. And if everybody is giving me the response of 1, what will be the number? 30. So how can I analyze this? If I'm not using SPSS, what is the most easiest way to analyze this? That any score of any individual which is lying between 30 to 150, 90 means it shows the favorable opinion, right? Below 90, unfavorable, and above 90, most favorable. So it's very easy to analyze these kind of Likert scale data. Even sometimes without using SPSS, if you have SPSS, definitely you will take the help of editing, coding, data cleaning. You will go with SEM, you will go with CFA, SFA, SEM and all. There are multiple regression analysis that could be done with the Likert data too. But Likert data helps you to find out the sensitivity of the customers based upon 3, 5, 7 or 9. So that was the first which I have used, Likert one. Now, the second one is basically semantic differential scale. What is the semantic differential scale? This is again fixed. You can't change this. So if you think that people can give you the responses on the behalf of some biopolar labels, that you are going to a restaurant and when you are leaving the restaurant manager approaches to you and asks, sir, the restaurant was clean or dirty? They have their fixed variables and they want to analyze the responses on those fixed variables only. So one is very positive and the second one is just opposite to that. But how to measure it? There is a technique that I will tell you. मैं भी बताती हूँ आपको इसकी technique क्या है measure करने की. But first of all, understand what is semantic differential. Semantic is, it is always 7-point rating scale. We can't change it. So remember this thing in your mind very well. What is the meaning of 7-point? We will be pointing some numbers. When I show you this example, if you see this, what are those 7 points? What we have in between 0, 3 are positive and 3 are negative. So the word which is positive, useful, is a positive word. So after 0, all 3 numbers will go in a positive manner. +1, +2 and +3. Use less. That means it is of no use. So all 3 numbers will go negative. So likewise, this is a 7-point rating scale and you yourself can decide the characteristics. These words are not fixed. Whatever suits to your research area, those variables can be identified and you can use those variables in your study. Like it could be modern, old-fashioned, good, bad, clean, dirty, important, unimportant, likewise. Quick, slow. Now, how do we measure this? There are 2, blocks which are there in front of you. In the first block, there is nothing. There is just a plain questionnaire, which is showing that there are 7 options. +3, +2, +1, 0, -1, -2, and -3. But what is happening at the below one? Although it is a non-comparative scale, but if somebody wants to use it for the purpose of comparison between 2 to 3 brands, this method can be used for one brand as well as this method can be used for more than one brands too. अब कैसे इसको यूज करना है, just look at it very carefully. We are having 3 different lines. Look at below. The brand X is having the simple black line. The brand Y is having the smaller dots. And the brand Z is having big dots, small dots combination. So if I see the simple line, what is the brand X is showing? Brand X is showing it is useful, attractive, but it is not so beneficial. It is okay in dull, in shining. It is not so pleasant. It is not so cold. It is good and it is likable. What do you think in this particular paragraph? Which brand is having the most negative review? If I ask you, when you see this, when you are seeing this, anybody who would like to give me the answer? Which brand is having the most negative review? Brand X, brand Y, or brand Z? Anyone? Can anybody will give me the answer, or is it not clear? There are 3 brands which are seen at the below: brand X, brand Y, or brand Z. Which brand do you think is having the most negative value? I'm showing you the slide again. Can anybody tell me?
Brand X.
Brand Z, sir.
No,
Brand Z.
XX.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, brand. Just a minute, ma'am.
So,
Brand is it? Brand is it?
Brand Z. Yes. So it is looking, and whenever you will put these kind of tables in your research work, even your guide will think that, okay, oh my God, what kind of scaling that is being used? It's a kind of scaling which are hardly used by the researchers. But these scalings are again very powerful to, even if it is not a comparison of these 2 brands, Y or Z, you can show the liking about the brand X, whether the people are liking this brand X or not. So it will go with one brand and it will go with the comparison of 2, 3, 4 brands too. So you can use it. Okay? And this is again a very basic semantic differential tools. But the fixed thing is, we are not going to change the 7-point rating scale, as we can change it in Likert scale. So like in Likert scale, we have the option to choose 3, 5, 7, and 9. In semantic differential scale, we can always go with the 7-point scale only. But the very positive point, these words can be changed. Otherwise, what people do, they prefer to go with these words only. Zyadatar 99% people go with this semantic differential scale with these words. But that gives you the liberty to change 1 or 2 meanings or 1 or 2 variables if you want to. Now, the last one is a staple scale. And staple scale is just very similar to like the semantic one, but the difference is it is not on a 7-point, it is on a 10-point. Can you see this? Even if you see this, +5 and -5. So we are giving more choices to the customers. So like that means what? If you want to go with the more sensitive population, your population is most sensitive. For an example, they are very attached to the product. They have used the product from last 20 years and they know the nerve of the product, that which thing is going to make the product hit and which thing is going to make the product dull into the market. For an example, if I ask my customers regarding Maruti, so I'm sure that out of a family of 10 to 15 members, 2 or 3 members must have been used Maruti. So they will be telling you the minute experience of, having or driving the Maruti car. So in that case, it's better to go with more numbers of scaling, +5, +4, +3, +2. And how can you use it? Just see this. So if you see this again, there are some variables which are being used: fast service, friendly, honest, convenient location, convenient hours, dull, good service, high saving rates. These are some of the variables which are being taken. And again, in the same way, we have asked the respondents to give the marking. And we are comparing here 2 banks, Bank X and Bank Y. So I think if you will see the bank X is more convenient location wise, more convenient hours they are having. Okay, the most negative term in bank X is very much visible honesty. But whereas in bank Y, the honesty is negative, and even the bank is not in a fast service. They're not very friendly. Convenient hours is okay, but very dull and high service rate. So even these kind of comparisons can be made whenever the things, are to be questioned and meant to be in the questionnaire. So these were some of the techniques which we have seen. Now, I have taken one exercise where your participation is required more. Okay, so you just see the question and tell me what kind of scaling criteria is used here. We will be starting by one question. But before that, let me just quickly revise you what we have done till now. We have seen comparative and non-comparative scale, in which we have seen paired comparison. This was the example. Over the two pairs offered. Rank order scale, ranking is being given. Constant sum scale, in which out of the total of 100, the responses are being asked. Q sort means there are many responses and they have given some kind of sorting on the basis of numbers 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. In non-comparative scale, we are having continuous rating and we are having itemized. In itemized, we are having three kinds of scale: Likert, semantic, 7-pointer, and staple, +5 and -5. Okay. Now, just to have an hands of experience, we are having the first question. Which brand do you prefer? What kind of scaling is this? Anyone? It is a comparative scale or non-comparative scale?
Comparative, ma'am.
And which one in comparative? Do you have any idea? Which one in comparative?
Paired.
Paired
comparison.
comparison.
Paired comparison. Yes, very correct. This is the second one. The following social media platforms based on how frequently you use them. What do you think? What we are trying to do here? 1 most frequently and 4 least frequently. I'm giving 4 options to the respondent. What they can do easily with this? मैं respondent से responses कैसे ले सकती हूँ? How can I take the responses from them? If I'm saying 1 is most frequently and 4 is least frequently, which method is being used here? Anyone? I'm giving you 30 more seconds, please. I have given you one example of e-commerce websites where I was asking my customers that which e-commerce websites you will use. You have to rank them. So 1, the most likely, and the 4th one is least likely. So what we are doing with this is that somebody has given, no ma'am, it is not Likert 1. No. We will not keep it as a Likert scale, as I have told you. Likert scale is only possible when we are having 3, 5, 7-point scale. I have given the options. You have to rank them. So it is a rank order scale. You can put Instagram on rank 1 if you are using it most frequently. Even you can put Facebook at number 1 if you are using Facebook most frequently. So out of these 4, if somebody is using LinkedIn least frequently, then the number will go 4. And likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4 ranking will be there. So if I will be here to give the answer of this question, so LinkedIn is 1, Insta is 2, Facebook is 3, and I'm not using Twitter. Once I have to pay something, okay? So Twitter is the least frequently used social media platform for me. So this is just the example of rank order scale. See the next one. Which method is being used here? I think it's very easy once you see the question. Which method is being used here? Anyone who want to give the answer of this? Allocate 100 points. You have to get a total of 100. I have given you the detergent example.
Constant
Sum.
sum scale. Yeah.
Yes. It is a constant sum scale. Very good. Now the next one is, I am satisfied with the delivery speed of Amazon. We are talking about one variable, and I think it's very easy by seeing this. Which scale I have used here? Yes, what do you say? Which scale is used here? Likert scale, it's very easy. All the words are not to be changed, and it is 5-point Likert scale. Strongly disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. Now, this is the next one. Rate the customer service of Zomato. Unfriendly to friendly. What do you think? What kind of scale? That is semantic differential scale. Guys, this is your term. If you are unable to give the answer, again, there is some confusion in your mind. So, semantic differential scale, if you go back and see, we were giving some kind of responses in a bipolar manner, that friendly, unfriendly. There were one thing which was very positive, one was very, very negative. So that was a semantic differential scale. So these were some questions. So what we have done till now in this particular workshop, we have seen the 4 levels of measurements: nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. And all these 4 kind of nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio can be very commonly used in marketing research. And most of us are in the social science marketing kind of research. Even in terms of getting the financial research, HR research, these kind of methods can be used. So a number of scaling techniques will be very much helpful to measure the attitude of the people. So now onwards, whenever you are about to make a questionnaire, this is my request. So you can, you have my number with you all. So if you have any problem in making the questionnaire, you can contact me. I will definitely help you out by understanding the objectives of your study. Okay? And, it is not all the time that we have to use some kind of very tough studies. We can also use a very simple method like we have discussed till now. And all those simple methods will be very helpful for you to understand. And we can make a simple analysis, like I have given you the example of Bloomsburg. Even Airtel has recently conducting a study. And by conducting the study, the Airtel was just trying to have an understanding of law of demand, whether price is the most significant factor in increasing the demand in the society. And they found it, yes, as the population of India is increasing, they decrease the price and the company is not in loss. The company is still earning a lot of revenue out of it. So anything out of you, I think I can see only 4 people here. So what do you say? Like, you have something clear in your mind? Or if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. Yes, Matthew ji, Neena ji, Vijay Narayan ji, Payal ji. If you want to ask anything, you want to say something, you can give me the feedback that, ma'am, it was the good part.
Yeah.
Which Yes, Payal ji.
Yes, thanks a lot, ma'am. The session was very useful. I got my doubts clear, and as earlier when I made questionnaire, I was not a part of data analytics and using the scales and jotting down the results from the questionnaire. So now this session would definitely help me to understand what was the procedure behind it, and next time when I prepare my questionnaire for thesis, I'll definitely need some help from you. So
Surely you can ask me at any point of time. You can WhatsApp me. And there is one thing, Payalji, just keep in mind, the way you ask the question at that particular time, it decides that what will be the statistical tool we will use. Based on the inference.
Yes.
Based on the inference.
Yeah, my thesis topic is developing a standardized scale only. So I'll be using Likert 5-point scale as of now. What I've decided, I would like to know a little more and see the opportunity if I can use like a Likert 7-point scale also. I'll check with that also, and I'll definitely come.
You go and check in literature too, Payal.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Ruchika ma'am, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
It was a nice session. I am working as an assistant professor here in Chennai.
Okay.
I have completed my PhD. I am into government service now.
Okay.
I am actually fond of statistics so much. I also do some of the statistical techniques, but I wanted to know in depth about the scales, and I really admire the way you have taken these 2 days. It was really a good session. I've got few takeaways and new takeaways from you. Thank you so much, and very happy to associate with you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sir, can we just wind up the session? It was all from my side. I think I have to make a call to sir now. Participants, if you want to leave, you can. Let me make a call to sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, I do not have your number. I think you are in that group, no, ma'am?
Yes, I'm there in the group. Yes.
Okay.
My number is 93355 You can identify from the group now. 8844 in the last.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So in case if you need any help, you can definitely take a help from me.
Sure, ma'am. Probably we can call you for guest lecture for our MCOM people for research methodology program.
Okay.
I work for the Department of Commerce, and also we have a research program. Probably we will also call you for the research programs, ma'am.
Okay.
For
Where,
our PhD scholars.
Where, sir? Can I know?
We are from Chennai.
Okay, so that must be online in that case.
Depends on, ma'am. Probably I am associated with the University of Madras also. The University of Madras has a UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center.
Yes.
I'm closely moving with the University of Madras. Probably based on the requirement, we may go with online or offline as the case may be, ma'am.
Yes, surely. You
Sure,
just give me a message. Definitely. Whatever extent to the help I can offer to you, I will.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.